I present to you the newly elected president of the National Education Association, Lily Eskelsen García.
Hermanos y hermanas, no hay palabras. There are no words. Just kidding, I can always get words. To my wonderful association family, I want all of you to stand up at the all of you, all the way up to Alberto. He doesn't know what's going on. He doesn't know what's going on. Okay, this is Sharon Gallagher Fishbaugh, Ruben Murillo, Charles Smith, Jared Ray, Rita Haker, Ryan Anderson, Sue Dickey, and Mary and Margaret Susan, and Trudy and Roz and Susan Stitham in Alaska, and everybody, the entire wonderful Utah delegation who have supported me in all my delusions of grandeur. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And my wonderful family, some of whom are here on the stage. Come on, it's time to get embarrassed. To my boys, to Jeremy and his husband, Mike, and to Jared, who's at home working hard and couldn't be here. To my mom, Chili Pace. People just walk up to her and go, "You're Chili's mom." Yes, yes, I am. I'm Lily's mom. Yes, and Cece and Dee Dee and my brothers, Bobby and Joe, and all of their families who came. And to mi esposo, el amor de mis amores, to my wonderful husband Alberto y sus hijos Florecita y Pablito, gracias por venir. For all of my now international south of the border family that, what are we doing? He's given me this beautiful gift of his friends and family, and now they're my friends and family, and I'm so grateful. Gracias, mi amor. Gracias. And to my incredible executive committee, they work so hard. They love you guys so much, and Princess, welcome to the team. We are going to be just amazing, but especially and always to two people who will always be spiritually joined at the hip together, all of us, forever and ever. Honestly, there has never been an association executive team that loved each other as much as the team led by Dennis Van Rokel. And Dennis, I just want to say that I only kid you about your age because I enjoy being cruel. I always thought it was so funny that people thought I was the nice one, you know? And it's ironic because I honestly can say I don't know anyone who's as young at heart as you are. You have never lost that ability to play like a kid and to wake up every morning at 4 o'clock and start sending us emails and know that you were going to change the world today. You knew that. And I don't know where you get your energy to always come up with so many ideas and just throw them at us. And some of them were just such awful ideas. Oh, Dennis. And even with that, you have the most happy, humble, honest heart of anyone I've ever known. And Miss Becky, grandmother of Carter, I only tell you that I'm scared of you because I really, really am. I am terrified. I am terrified of how wicked smart you are. No one should be that smart. You can look at a person and size them up and listen to what they're saying and see what's inside of it. You can look at a budget and it's not numbers to you. It's a way to achieve something. And you can You can ask the most amazing questions. Your questions are better than anyone's answers that I've ever heard. And you have those critical thinking skills that we have always said were so important to build in our students. You must have had amazing teachers to have come up with somebody like you. I am here today because of so many, many people, so many of you sitting in this room. Y qué honor estar en este lugar, en este momento. What an honor to be here at this particular time. Okay, what? Just put on their blah, 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 blah. I was talking to a reporter, and he seemed to think that I shouldn't be here at all. He said, you're not from a big state. You're not from a state with a strong tradition of unions. You're not from a state with bargaining rights. I'm not from a blue state. They've already made up their minds about this stereotype of who we are and what our union is all about. I was on a panel defending us after the release of Waiting for Super Privateers. And the moderator kept throwing up all of these stereotypes of why NEA was opposed to privatization and why NEA was opposed to standardization. And I wanted the audience to understand what couldn't be measured on a standardized test. So I talked about my students at the Salt Lake Homeless Shelter and how important music was to just get them to feel at home and feel safe, and how we would sing, "Don't stick your finger up your nose, because your nose knows it's not the place it goes," and we sang it with dignity. And how my sixth graders at Orchard Elementary learned how they were saving lives when they decided to organize a blood drive just for the opportunity to see their teachers bleed. And how we wrote letters to the governor when there was some controversy, and they had to express their opinions. And I didn't even care what those opinions were as long as they knew how to say why they had those opinions, to use reason and evidence for their opinions, and to spell every word correctly. And every question the moderator asked, I answered using something from my Utah kids. And finally, he got so exasperated with me. And he said, "Lily, I, me, this is not about you." He said, "You are not up on this panel to tell us how you feel. You are up here to tell us the positions of the NEA." And I got to say, "But I am the NEA." Educators in this great country have the right to stand up and say, "I am the NEA." 3 million educators in this country know the names of the students that will be affected by some decision that a politician or a billionaire or a movie maker make. 3 million educators are the NEA, and we fight for something better for those students, and we fight for the integrity and the professional respect of the men and women who serve those boys and girls, and we are unique. Where else in this country do you steal things from home and bring them to work? It's only funny because it's true. And on what other job do you get hugs and construction paper valentines and middle-aged men with 3-day stubble pushing a cart in the grocery store staring at you, and you will hear them say as you nervously pass, "Hi, Miss Eskelsen, remember me?" I hate that guy. We are the NEA. And we're made of something very different. Our work is made of flesh and blood. Our work is the future of everything. No pressure. We know what is at stake. We know why we are who we are, and why we are fearless, and why we won't be silent when people who, for their own profit or political posturing, subvert words like reform and accountability. These people tell us, yes, it's possible for all children to be above average. They tell us it's possible to do it tomorrow morning. They tell us it's possible to do it and it won't cost a dime, because all things are possible to people who don't know what they're talking about. And people who don't know what they're talking about are talking about a greater use of commercial standardized tests to make high-stakes decisions about those human students and those brave educators who serve them every day, when all evidence that you can put in front of anyone will show you that it is a corrupting influence on what it means to teach and what it means to learn. It is corrupting the collaborative relationship that we need to have with each other when we're told we need to compete. District against district, school against school, teacher against teacher, support professionals against each other. With all the country's problems that they were facing decades ago, candidate Bill Clinton was clear that yes, we have to deal with a lot of things, but first, one thing had to happen, or nothing was going to get better. Do you remember the poster that hung in every campaign hall, every single one of his campaign offices? It's the economy, stupid. For us, one thing is clear. Before anything is going to get better, it's the testing, stupid. Actually, it's the stupid testing. If we miss that, we miss everything. Yay, we get early childhood education, and they use it to teach those 4-year-olds to bubble in the answer sheet. Hooray, we get affordable college, but we don't graduate anyone from high school with those critical, creative thinking skills because we were too busy teaching them to be better test guessers. So let's be clear, because I've been asked this by reporters all week long. No, we are not against tests. As Dennis said, we're teachers, we invented tests. But we believe the results of tests should be used for what they were designed to measure. No commercial, mass-produced, industrial strength, standardized factory tests should ever, may I just say ever, never be used as the determining factor in any high-stakes decision on any level for any child or any adult. Basta ya, enough is enough. Fighting for what's right, but we will never be silent about what is wrong. So many of my friends have given up. You know their names. You know people who love this profession, and they left it because of this phony so-called accountability system. It broke their spirits, it broke their hearts, and they left rather than feel complicit in hurting their students and demeaning their profession. And I can't find it in my heart to blame them, but I'm not talking to them because none of them are in this room. I'm talking to you. You stayed. You didn't give up. And you knew it wouldn't be easy. It won't be easy to stand up to billionaire bully brothers who want to destroy our voice, and billion-dollar edu businesses who will subvert true high standards by selling packaged products for everything that can reduce a student's opportunity to learn to what will fit on a commercial multiple choice test. It won't be easy to fight the germ, the global education reform movement, the corporate model. De-professionalize, privatize, standardize. It won't be easy to lead a movement towards that whole and happy child, so that child has a chance to be a whole and happy adult. But we know what we need: equity, measuring what matters, personalizing and humanizing education by giving us, the educators, the authority, the competent, caring professionals on every building level to do what individual students need us to do. It won't be easy, but I'm inspired by people who've had it tougher than we have it, as tough as this is. I'm inspired when I remembered reading an interview with a teacher who was a leader in the anti-apartheid movement in South Africa, a black woman who taught in miserable conditions every day, and every night she would go home and she would organize communities to fight injustice. And when someone said, "How can you do this without losing your mind? How can you do this without breaking your heart? How can you go up against these odds?" And she said, "You need three things. You need to be a little crazy. You need to find a whole lot of people who are as crazy as you are. And you need to never be afraid." We are all a little crazy. Look around you. We are not alone. And we are fearless because we have each other. It's all we've ever had. It's all we ever will have. And it is exactly what we need. We will lead to a movement of the whole child, and I know we can do it. Sí se puede. Sí se puede. Sí se puede. Sí se puede. Adelante, sin miedo. Forward, no fear. Mil gracias, mis hermanos y hermanas. Gracias.